My name is Kianja. I am the president of my own company. I work in the accounting industry. Actually, I'm a bookkeeper. And I give SuiteDash a 5. What I was using before was a a Word document, and then I would change it to PDF in order to do proposals. When it came to marketing, I was using software like email service providers like ConvertKit and Mailchimp, those type of things. And the workflow was kind of hard in terms of um, being able to talk to someone and then turn around and write up a proposal, send the proposal, market all at the same time. And so I was looking at software like Canopy and Workflow, Arrow Workflow, different things like that, in order to kind of fill that gap. But even with that, it required me to still pay for like an email service provider. The reason why I chose SuiteDash is because it covered all of most of the issues, if not all the issues that I had. So with SuiteDash, it allows you to bring in a prospect through it allows you to bring in a prospect through a form on your website. It's white labeled. I also needed to have it where I can handle proposals and contracts and invoicing all in one software if that was possible. I also wanted to be able to have it where I had a client portal for my existing clients. That was like my major issue. I needed a client portal. And so this one covered it because I was able to have documents for bookkeeping so people could upload documents. I could provide financial reports. I was able to have it where prospects could actually enter in their information and show as a prospect within the system that they weren't clients just yet, and be able to actually take them through an automated workflow. And so I love that about SuiteDash. I was able to actually go through that information there, or go through that workflow so that they kind of got everything all at one time. So I was able to say, okay, well, let's go ahead and schedule a time internally, and send them a proposal. I was able to have them, if they liked everything, they could actually sign the contract. They would automatically become a client within the system. They have things called circles. So you had circles like, say, if they were bookkeeping clients as opposed to, say, payroll clients. I could put that in there. If they had a team, I could actually make a circle for them, for their company, and then all their team members, and actually pick and choose what I wanted the company owner to see, as opposed to maybe a contracted individual that I may have brought in, or one of their staff members that they were that they would bring in so they could see those different aspects. So I really love that about the software. It's completely customizable, and so you may not have billing there. You may bill through another software, but you don't have to do that. You may not use documentation. You may use something else. So, like I said, it's completely customizable. You can actually create full-fledged pages in there, and there's a workspace. There is where I have a certain amount of team members, and I can assign a client to that team member, and they'll be able to see all the information that they need to, and I can customize that as well. Pick and choose that. I love the fact that I can actually have it where it integrates with QuickBooks Online, which is very popular. I know Xero is coming down the pike as far as integrations are concerned. They're looking at integrating, I believe it's like Google Sheets, and not necessarily Drive, because they have their internal storage, which is actually a good thing because they're HIPAA compliant, and so they have security measures in place, which I really love about that. My existing clients can actually log in through a a WordPress website, and it literally is like seamless. And so all they see is the client portal, and even the domain name is white labeled. So that's very good as well. And so when they go in, they're actually able to create appointments. You can assign tasks to your clients if they need to upload something in time. They have is it Kanban or Kanban inside the software, so you can have a workflow where you can see, okay, this is what's due today, and you can automate this, by the way. This is what's due today, and you can kind of move things over when things are in progress, and you can move things over when they're done. And so you can see where your team members are at. You can also have it where, and this is what I like, you can have it where if you have team members and say you're paying them hourly on the clock, or it's billable hours, you can actually bill those hours, and it'll create, you can add it into an invoice, which is, they have internal invoice system that can be paid automatically. Like, you can just send it to the client automatically within the system. Or what you can do is have it where the software can have it. Let's see, you can have it where the software can actually knock that stuff, or have it where the invoice is tied into, like, say, QuickBooks. If you have it where, in my case, sometimes clients come in and they're just setting up their software. They're setting it up. Not their software. I'm sorry. They're behind on their financials. So it may be a year or 2 years worth. So sometimes I have to come up with a proposal and bill them a certain amount, like a retainer fee. So I can bill them for a one time, and then if they want to continue ongoing, I can, in that same invoice, I can also invoice them for recurring payments. And everything's automated. They use PayPal, they use Stripe, and I believe they're going to use, or they're using Authorize.net. I'm not sure just yet. I haven't. I usually use like a Stripe or PayPal, so I haven't looked at that part yet. But I believe that's coming, so that you can actually draft, you can draft your payments from the clients directly through bank accounts, which is, I don't really see that often. So it lowers your fee. So I think that's pretty awesome as well. It was pretty easy to onboard into my business, or integrate into my business. I had a lot of things that were, the process was separated, like, paper. So in terms of being able to set everything up, the best advice I can give you is to follow the prompts that they give you. They kind of tell you exactly how to set things up. But before you start setting it up, you might want to take a look at their guide in the help section. So even before you actually sign up for SuiteDash, if you want to have it where you go to their help section and documentation, they'll show you the onboarding process, so you have an idea of what you need to have with you. So for instance, I usually have, they usually say, okay, create a test client. And at first I was like, oh, okay, a test client. So when I created one, I was able to go through the steps and understand what it is that I needed in order to set up, instead of just having a client live initially. And I think most people do that. So they make it really easy. There's a ton of documentation, even not just in the help section, outside of the software, but within the software. When you're in certain sections, all you have to do is select the videos or the help, and it'll show you how to work through things. So just like the software allows you to onboard clients, like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, they use their own software, so they do the same thing. So it's a pretty simple walkthrough. If you are considering SuiteDash, I would go ahead and do that. I use the Pinnacle, which I believe is the highest level. If you have clients that you need to bill automatically on a recurring basis, and have it where maybe they're not thinking about, okay, I've got to pick this up in order to pay that person manually, or you want them to just have it where they receive an invoice and they receive an automated message that says, hey, we're going to be invoicing you in a couple of days, just so you know, or the payment's going to be drafted. If you need automation, as far as if you're a freelancer, if you are a small business owner, service-based, or even if you have an online business, it is worth taking a look at SuiteDash and using it. If you have one-on-one coaching or even group coaching, I would recommend this also because what is supposed to be coming down the pike in the future, which I think is awesome, is that they've talked about integrating with Zoom so that you can hold coaching sessions. So it is definitely a software like an all-in-one that you definitely want to take a look at. Um, it's worth a try. You can even do a free trial, so I think that's awesome.